worthy and prepared today.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Your Reverence.
Bishop Edevane, Bishop Hennessy, my brother priests, it's wonderful to have all of you here in the cathedral this morning. I want to first of all say a word of gratitude to Father Arthur Kennedy, Father Peter Uglietto, and Father Tony Medeiros, and all of those who are involved in the formation of our priests, the seminary faculties and staff. We greet also our deacons, my fellow religious, the seminarians, families and friends of the Ordinance. Welcome to the Cathedral of the Holy Cross. A half a century ago in this cathedral, they would have been ordaining about 50 men to the priesthood. But those huge ordination classes did not begin to reflect the diversity and Catholicity of today's class. A widower, a deaf man, an Irish immigrant, Vietnamese refugee, an Hispanic, member of the neo-catechumenal way. It's truly a microcosm of the Church today. Now, it has been suggested that we celebrate today's ordination in Gaelic, Bostonian, Sign Language, Spanish, and Vietnamese. It was tempting till I get to the Vietnamese, which is a tonal language where every syllable can be pronounced in 6 different ways, making for an infinite possibilities to make a fool out of yourself. So I fear that I might ask Wee Win to marry a harem instead of pledging himself to celibacy, or invite him to live in full rebellion rather than respect and obedience to the bishop. Dr. Berlitz, the great linguist, determined quite scientifically that the most spoken language on the planet is broken English, of which I am a master, at least by Henry Higgins's British standards. Pero sí quiero saludar la tribu de Israel, que ha venido de la tierra lejana para acompañar a su querido hijo en este momento de gracia para toda la comunidad. Bienvenidos seáis todos. Israel's parents and 10 of his brothers and sisters are here from Spain to be with him today, and we welcome all of them. I'm very moved by the presence of so many members of the deaf community who are here to be part of Sean Carey's ordination. We are very grateful to the rector and the faculty at St. Patrick's Seminary, to Father Jeremy and Father Michael, and all who have been involved in the deaf ministry here in the Archdiocese. Now, if Jeremy is an honorable man, that was neither obscene or heretical. I am very pleased, of course, that 1/3 of today's ordination class is named Sean. I only wish that Sean Carey would learn how to spell his name correctly, which, of course, is S-E-A-N with a fada on the A. We are so pleased that Margaret Maher and her family are here from County Kerry. If Ireland ever had a colony, it would be Boston. So, Céad Míle Fílte. We know that many of the Vietnamese community are here to celebrate the ordination of Wee Win. The Vietnamese are being referred to in Catholic periodicals today as the New Irish, because of the disproportionately high number of ordinations. Each year in the United States, 1/10 of our ordinations to the priesthood are of Vietnamese seminarians. It is truly a tribute to the deep faith and love for the priesthood of the Vietnamese people. We also extend the warmest welcome to the family and friends of Frank Camp and David Gunter and all of you who are here present today for this wonderful occasion. Your prayers and support have enabled these men to respond courageously and generously to a call to serve Christ and His Church as Catholic priests. Jesus told us to pray to the Lord of the harvest to send laborers. We must do our part, praying for and promoting vocations. The Lord of the harvest is the one who gives the gifts of vocation. Today we gather profoundly grateful for the gift of the Eucharist and the priesthood and the gifts of these vocations. We can all connect the dots. To understand the meaning of the Catholic priesthood, we look to Jesus when He says, quoting the first reading from today's Mass, "I was sent to announce the good news to the poor." Jesus presents Himself as the messenger of joy. He's anointed with the oil of gladness, as the prophet Isaiah says. Our priests are part of that same mission, are part of that sending of Jesus. There is a strong missionary element in the identity of the Catholic priest, sent to announce the glad tidings of God's love. Jesus' first and inaugural address at Nazareth sets the themes of His public life, borrowing from the text from Isaiah from today's Mass. Jesus presents Himself as the missionary of the Father, a messenger of joy to the poor, a liberator of those oppressed by sin and the threat of death. Jesus is the merciful face of the Father to the oppressed and the suffering. Our Good Shepherd is a missionary who goes out to seek the lost sheep. Jesus says He leaves the 99 to go in pursuit of the one lost sheep. As I told the priest at the Chrism Mass, too often we stay with the one saved sheep and let the 99 drift off into oblivion. We must go in search of those who have strayed, those who are lost, those who have become alienated from the church or are on the periphery. Missionary preaching is the primary task of Jesus and the apostles, and it must be our primary activity in the church. The priest is always rabbi, teacher, head catechist in the parish, a man who teaches by word and by example. As Pope Paul VI said, more than teachers, the world needs witnesses. We must heed St. Paul, who declares, "Woe to me if I do not proclaim the gospel." The church exists to evangelize. The primary task is the proclamation of the gospel in season and out of season.